everybody, welcome back. And third video about traffic. Just wanted to thank everybody for all the cool shares and likes and comments and questions and just, you know, we like this whole concept of random acts of coolness. And thank you, Laura, for putting time, effort, and energy and digging this stuff up for. This is great.
In fact, the third time.
Third time.
If you haven't seen the previous videos, there's links under the videos. You want to watch some great case studies we're doing.
That's it.
On getting traffic to your website with an expert here, Laura Betterly.
Yeah, the expert, the greatest, Laura Betterly. So now, first of all, I can't take credit for this open slide text. This is all Laura.
That's right.
It's fantastic that she thinks this, but I'm going to read it anyway. Rockstar info marketers. What do you think of that? What do you think of that? I don't know about that. Go head to head with established brands like GoToWebinar. And in case, in case you didn't know, that is our Webinar Jam launch. Is what this particular case study is all about. Because we've got some pretty cool ROI going on here that we want to share with people. And I think whereas in the last case study we showed a company that spent about $28,000 on traffic. And some of the comments we got were, wow, that looks great. I can't wait till the day that I get to something like that. Do you have something more modest? And this is actually, interestingly enough, even though the results are quite big, the spend was small.
Under 10,000.
Yeah, under 10,000. So let's talk about that. And also, you know, let's walk through some of our challenges here. So first of all, what you need to know is that this was a pure sales campaign. This was a get the money.
Get the money.
Trademark Frank Kern. This is a GTM campaign versus some of the other campaigns we talked about where get the lead, then get the money. We're not dumb. Well, I don't know. But we did not send people directly to a squeeze page. Our offer wasn't a squeeze page. And the reason I hesitated there is because I wanted to, you know, emphasize that we weren't dumb. But what we did do is we had an exit pod, right? So if somebody didn't actually take the offer at that point,
we like leads too.
We got them on the way out. So yeah, we don't want to necessarily say that you shouldn't do this. You should do this.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. You guys, you know, when you start a campaign, whatever it is, you kind of back out from like, what's your goal? What are we going for here?
Yeah.
We were doing a launch.
We want a brand recognition.
So we're doing a launch.
Which is really right here. We want to drive sales via Facebook during a launch, which a lot of people came to us and said, why would you? You've got your affiliates promoting the heck out of it.
Here's my thinking is that we were building a brand. We knew that this wasn't our one shot. Yeah. We knew that the more times that we could get them seeing Webinar Jam, if it was this affiliate, us, another affiliate, and now on Facebook going there, it's going to the sale, to the page and the brand one more time that they're saying, I really need to start paying attention to it. I'm seeing it everywhere.
That's right.
Well, you know, the other thing is, too, and we're not even getting into some of these things in these smaller case studies, but you have multiple touch points. You have affiliates, but we didn't even touch like things called retargeting, which is really a very cool way of digitally stalking an individual.
Maybe think about doing that another video and talking about retargeting.
Yeah, we can surely do that.
That is, as long as you know you guys would find some value.
We're surely interested in doing that.
Yep.
But you know, for this and I just wanted to kind of give you the meat. You know what I mean? The meat and the potatoes. There's there's side dishes to all of this. You know what I mean? But
a buffet.
Yeah, exactly. But the meat and potatoes was. We are in a launch. We want to be able to drive some sales. We want to be able to measure the sales, and you know, go for it.
Go for it. Yeah. Get the money.
Yep.
Get the money.
So
all right.
There were some challenges.
There was. Yeah. So the first one was selling what is considered a high tick item directly from Hayden.
We were 3 times that.
Yeah. And so let's just be clear. Why are we talking about that? Because most people perceive that Facebook is the place for $7 trinkets or $3 reports or $1.99 downloads. And we showed that it is, in fact, a place for just about anything, right? I mean, whether you're selling stuff on Etsy or this is why I'm broke, or you're selling, you know, high-end training, all the way down to those things, you can sell that stuff. So that was a challenge in terms of we didn't necessarily know if we needed to position stuff differently.
Yeah, and we had to take a look at that particular point.
So our next challenge was a market that had very interesting expectations, but they were specific. So let's just give people an example. One of the ways that you can target people in Facebook is to target their interests, right? Well, interestingly enough, not that many people have an interest of webinars. So we had to come at it at sort of a backdoor angle or side door angle with you, or people that were interested in entrepreneurship or being self-employed, or like Mike actually, helped us out with what about different magazines that they read. And you were like, Success magazine, if they read Success, chances are they're an influencer. Influencers give webinars. Right. Authors, speakers, coaches. Right. So we had to come at it in a different direction than most people that just like, for example, fitness or weight loss. You get to say, if you have an interest in fitness, they have an interest in fitness. Yeah. So
now, interestingly enough, on that same note, when we were looking at this, if you remember, because this is a Google Hangouts product, I did try to target people who like Google Hangouts. Well, people who like Google Hangouts don't necessarily need webinars.
And it flopped.
And oh, man.
Well, that's actually, you guys are kind of skipping ahead here. But that's okay. One more challenge, which was we were going to head against a huge established brand. So now Citrix, which owns GoToMeeting, GoToWebinar, and now GoToWebcast.
I think they're scared.
They're the biggest in the marketplace. We could estimate, but we think that they're probably between a $40 and $100 million a year company.
Gorilla.
That's right.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
That's exactly right. So what would they do? What should we do? They're the only game in town, and they've been that way for a long time. So how will people feel about these new kids, these upstarts, these young punks coming to the marketplace about it? Right. And as it turns out, and let's actually just kind of jump here, the test that we ran, the biggest test that we ran, thanks to Laura, and Laura actually figured out the winning creative here, which was awesome, is over here on the left, and you alluded to that earlier, we had a brand, or we had an ad that said, do you love Google Hangouts? Check this out. And that bombed. Right? So even though we used a brand, using a known brand against another known brand, what we discovered was that people are more interested in outcomes when there's a brand involved. So if you just use Google Hangouts, who the hell cares? Right. But if you've got a go-to-webinar, known brand, killer, and that's like the curiosity, what's this thing all about?
Yeah,
crushed.
I think that looking back, when we look back at why something works and why something doesn't, I think with Hangouts, Hangouts wasn't known to make money. And if we're going after influencers that want to make money, telling them something that they feel like it didn't work for me and it's not what GoToWebinar is.
Well, so the thing about Google Hangouts, and you and I have said this right up front in our marketing, is Google Hangouts is not for professionals.
Right.
Google Hangouts is for people that want to have Hangouts.
And we created a front-end professional marketing machine for it. So
that's right. So people that like Hangouts, those people aren't pros. People that use GoToWebinar, because it costs so much damn money, they're probably in it for the money. So when there's a killer, a GoToWebinar killer, people took action. So just taking a look, guys, at some of the results here. 23 people liked the Love Google Hangouts, check this out, versus 546 others liked, and 81 people shared the GoToWebinar killer.
Obviously,
that's a home run, huge.
And when you're talking about, when we were talking about the last time we got together, we were talking about like a foo-foo, whatever.
Woo-woo.
The
crystal rubbish.
Yeah, exactly. And so you're going to have a certain amount of virility in something like that. But when you get something that's marketing based, and I mean, this is, we're obviously selling them something. We're not being coy, covert, social, or otherwise.
But we had to get them excited about the GoToWebinar killer. Talk about the pain points of GoToWebinar, that they wanted to share it with people and be a hero.
But getting 81 shares on a B2B,
on an ad. So let's just overcome an objection for some of our viewers. And we talked about this a couple of videos ago, where Mike and I would always get this objection, well, but I'm not Mike and Andy, so I can't do this thing. And then we had another case study where we had Tony Robbins, and they're like, what if you do if you can't get Tony Robbins? Well, okay, so here's the deal here. We had two brands. Google is far more known than GoToWebinar is. And then, of course, we had the other brand, the Mike and Andy brand. I don't know who picked that. If you picked that picture, we're going to have words later.
We have picture-picking problems in this company.
Man. I mean, when I look fat, don't pick it. Anyway, so, and all of a sudden the video goes black. But Sassy's like, cut.
You know what? But it converted. So
well, I get it. So, but here's the point is that
teasing.
It's about, known brands. the fact is, just because it's a brand doesn't mean you don't have to express an outcome.
That's right.
Outcome, right? Outcome. It's social. People in a one-to-one basis, they want to know, why am I looking at this thing from this person?
GoToWebinar's good.
Yes.
This used the words GoToWebinar killer. Whoa, pattern interrupt.
Yeah.
I've been using this for a long time. It's the only game in town. This is a killer app. Let's see what your claims are. It's a lot to say.
So let's talk about some results here. So we spent $8,523 during this launch. And we're still spending money even to this day, but during that launch, which was a short duration launch, that's what we spent.
About 10 days, yeah.
Yeah. Tracked sales were $111,300. So that is a bigger than 10x, 11x,
12,
maybe 12, 13x ROI, return on investment. We 13 times our money during the launch. So we got a lot of people talking about it. And you know what? That's probably one of the reasons why it was so awesome. And this might be some to use to our viewers, which is, when there's a media event going on about something, that's not a bad time to advertise.
Yeah, exactly, man. We were happy to see those results, and we know that it was all part of a branding campaign coming from so many different places. So this threw it over the top. This is traffic. It can't lose traffic.
Yeah, yeah. So I call it coattail riding, right? So when somebody's already dressed up and put on their tuxedo in the media, and I don't necessarily mean, like an award ceremony, but when somebody's in the spotlight, in the media, you want to kind of jump onto those coattails and ride along. We see it done in a crappy way all the time in our marketplace, where somebody will do a launch about a product, and then some little minor bullshit player will say, don't buy Video Genesis, buy my product for $7, it's better. Well, they end up doing well because Video Genesis was all over the marketplace.
And competitors can say, thinking of this, and here's just a quick little tip, sorry to interrupt you, is this is a great lesson for affiliates right now, to realize that we were selling our own product, but all the stuff that we're telling you would have worked at the same way. Cut it in half, and the income, you would have made $55,000 spending under $9,000 in traffic, doing the same types of ads, going to the same types of people, doing the research we did. So it doesn't have to be for our product. When you see buzz in the marketplace, if buzz, everybody's promoting, jump on and say, use what we're teaching you. Take some of the creatives and create ads, because you're going to support the launch the same way we did, and then you'll make the commissions. Our
number 2 affiliate for Webinar Jam,
Pam Hendrickson.
Pam Hendrickson, who's completely and utterly awesome. We have dinner with her soon, by the way. You saw that anyway. She drove a ton of traffic, and consequently made a ton of sales, hundreds, through advertising, just like we did.
Yeah, and
she advertised her bonus. That's how freaking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and if you take a look at what's going on in the news or Google Trends or something odd, that you can even see it on Facebook, they'll say trending. If you know something that can be either opted in for, right, that is related to that, and it's newsworthy right that moment, that's when you jump on it. That's when you spend some money.
You know who is doing this? A couple of friends of ours that are in the survival business.
Yeah.
Are leveraging what's going on with Russia and the Ukraine.
Oh yeah.
About preparing for some sort of catastrophe, and they're riding on that coattail.
Oh yeah, I mean,
so a couple other things about this. And I'm pointing, folks, if you wonder why I'm pointing here, it's because I have a monitor that's showing what's right behind me.
Yeah, so we don't have to look behind us.
That's right.
So our cost per sale with this campaign was $26.18. So that means it cost us $26.18 every time we made a sale of our $300 product.
Yeah, I think a sale was worth about $400 to us in our campaign.
Because we had upsells on the back end. That's
now, let me ask you a question. What were you paying each affiliate?
Well, we can tell you.
40% throughout the funnel.
So here's the thing, guys. Everybody wants to know how to get more affiliates, and Mike Filsaime happens, in my opinion, happens to be the best at rallying affiliates. Yeah. And we actually, did a report on that called Hot Traffic from JVs and crushed it with that, and that was all Mike's brain. But Mike knows how to get affiliates. But it is costly traffic. Costly traffic. And so
we paid $160 per sale if you add the upsells.
That's right. So even if they just bought the front end, $118. $118 per sale is what we ended up paying for affiliates. And now, of course, like you had mentioned, there is the value of the upsells, but we also did about $100,000 worth of bonuses, right, for that launch?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
so that all eats into it.
Right back down to about $118 a sale, even with the upsells.
That's right.
And you know what? You should never abandon any place that
Here's
you can
the
get
thing,
sales.
though. We are making more. Even at $118, we're making more than we're spending.
Oh, yeah.
And let me tell you something.
About 4.5 times more.
Even if my Facebook traffic cost $118, I'd cut a backflip.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting almost 3 times my money back by running these ads.
Right.
So the point is, you want to be everywhere. I remember back in the day advertising. I was #1 in the search engines for Lord of the Rings swords, right? And I was advertising in Google AdWords for Lord of the Rings swords. I was also #1 or #2, depending on their flaky algorithm at the time. And they'd ask me, Andy, why you're already #1 in the free SEO? Why you're advertising here? I'm like, because the ROI on my ads is still positive, and I'm getting a customer. And if they buy a Lord of the Rings sword, chances are they're going to buy. If let's say they buy Sting, then they might buy Aragorn's sword, or they might buy Gandalf's sword.
That concept is like, well, you might have gotten the click anyway. No, but now you're getting 2 ads and spots instead of 1 compared to the competitor. So you have a 2/3 chance of getting clicked compared to a 50-50.
Even then, I was young. I was still trying to figure this whole thing out. I had this instinct saying, anytime somebody's looking for a Lord of the Rings store, I want my brand, A2 Armory, to be everywhere they're looking. And so when they search for it, it was right there in Google, and it was also there in AdWords. You know what I mean? So it's like, wow, these guys must be real if they're in both of these places.
Yeah, and the more real estate you can take, the better off you are.
Absolutely.
There you
So
go.
it would almost like be asking the question, if you're already #1, why are you trying to rank for #2? Right? I'd want to be ranked #1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'd want all those spots.
So besides math, math is irrefutable. The irrefutable, driver of why we do things. Besides that at the end of the day, you are building a brand, you're communicating with people, and we know that it takes 7 to 10 exposures of your message before you even become meaningful to them. So if every time they search for me, they see me twice, awesome.
You're halfway there.
That's right. That's right. So here's some takeaways. And
even using the brands, the focused outcome is the one that will do the best.
that's right. So we had Google versus GoToWebinar, thinking Google is the more recognized brand. It wasn't until we let them know that there was a killer on the loose, that there was going to be an outcome that they might be able to have access to a GoToWebinar killer, that's when we started to make the sales, make the good ROI.
That's right.
Focused outcome, that's the key on that one.
Yeah, and as we said earlier, just some audiences just didn't work.
And that's okay.
Yeah, you just got to get bright about it. You got to sit there and kind of look at different things and say, and sometimes you'll test an audience, meaning like people's interests and whatnot, and you'll test an audience that you're just not so sure about, and it just goes goes gangbusters. So I never go safe when I have the opportunity to test.
Yeah, you test. That's where you find your winners and your losers.
That's right.
And then you optimize
and that's
your
what you want. So you can start weeding out less of these and getting more people.
Oh yeah, and then you just turn on the volume. There you go.
I've got something I want to add to that, but we'll come back to it in a minute. Personality-based marketing works. We were bold when in our advertising. We were personal in our advertising. We talked about the pain of limitation. We talked about the pain of cost in these things. We did not tiptoe around the bush. And I think Mike and I are very much known. I'm kind of like the lightning rod in our relationship, and Mike is the diplomat in our relationship. And together we're a pretty good force in the marketplace.
Agree.
We perpetuated that brand. We, as George Bush would like to say, we catapulted the propaganda of who it is we were.
Yeah, but you take a look.
Can you do George Bush too?
Maybe.
Mike Filsaime can do every internet marketer under the planet. The best, most awesome.
One day we'll put out something special.
We're going to do it.
But
Where's
the truth
that camera I look at one?
Yeah.
I think you just look right ahead, man. You look at the one on the left there.
What camera is that, Sassy?
Which one?
The last one you were just on.
Next to it.
That's one. Yeah.
Oh, that was
That's your own. You've got your own
big
camera.
Oh, I got the
at that.
mic camera.
You got
I've been
the
looking
big
over
one.
You
here.
look,
Yeah.
you look really sophisticated.
You look,
Really
you-
lean
brown.
back.
It's
you're
brown.
looking, you're looking handsome
It's
these
the
days,
brown.
I gotta
You
say.
are a handsome
San Diego brown.
Yeah.
man.
There you go.
Personality-based
But
marketing
the
works.
truth of the matter is let's take a look at personality-based marketing. You guys have a great personality, and you do
We
very
have
well.
a personality. Great
have
or
it.
not, it's
Yeah,
big.
but it's
Do you
big.
think that's true?
Please shut off
I
your
think
Skype.
it's mostly
Do you
true.
think that we have personality?
I think most of it.
Personal.
Yeah.
We got the guy behind the glass.
Yeah.
Thing on.
Oh,
But
Evan,
you
we
take
love
a look at Frank Curran, personality.
Personality. Oozing
Yes.
personality.
Even Ryan Dice,
Personality. Little buddy.
Yeah, yeah.
Little buddy.
Well, I don't know. I'm not even 5 feet tall. He likes hanging out with me because he's taller
Her
than me. I have to
Belcher.
tell you.
Personality.
yeah.
Exactly.
So the Silver Fox.
Yeah.
Can you do
Jeff
that?
Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do them all. I'll
Okay.
put a video out for
But
everybody.
nonetheless, I mean, the marketers that we follow that do well are personality based. If you've ever seen a video of somebody who doesn't have personality, those videos and those pages will not.
You know what's
convert.
interesting in the coaching and speaking and author, everyone that's successful is a personality.
That's correct.
Because if you're not and you don't have one and you don't prepare, what do
Nobody
you have to
cares.
offer?
Nobody cares.
Yeah,
La-
personality.
Nobody cares.
Last thing, being given the ability to test and fail creates more success.
That's right.
That's what we were just saying before. You weed out the
The winners.
flops and you
But-
get more
but
education
I
from
have-
that to help you find more
I
winners.
have to say, as someone who's working on your team, I so appreciate you allowing me that opportunity to do that crazy test that might fail. I don't get that ability with everybody, and it's actually the thing that makes it the most successful. So, you know, the fact that you guys are going back to your original let's market like the money doesn't matter really is.
And we win every time.
And you win every time.
Yeah, there comes a point where it
Yeah.
does matter, right?
Yeah.
But when you go into a marketplace that you're testing out and you're trying to find a new customer,
Right.
or you're trying to find a customer that has, you know, for a different product, you are throwing so many darts in the dark. You just nobody's good enough to just hit it right
I
off
think
the
when
hop.
it goes to advertising, we say, let's go fail. Because
Failure is
because
just a test
That's
result.
that's
all
the
it is.
expectation, because we're like this, saying we're prepared to fail. Let's go find the winner though.
Yeah.
And not worry about the first few ads that might have lost a little bit of money.
The other
But
thing
what's it
is, too,
cost
is
us to fail?
Because
What?
you fail small and win big.
That's exactly it. I mean,
Right.
look, we might test 10 campaigns with $10. And then that's $100, and then we'll take those 10 campaigns, we'll take that down to maybe 6.
Yeah,
And then we'll do some tweaks to that until we get down to 2 or whatever it is. So yeah, it's not. You're not talking
$10
about.
gets you
know,
several hundred impressions. You're not getting a click. You know right off the bat.
You
pull
know,
that
and
aside.
even for us, let's just be in the spirit of transparency. We take more risks when we do advertising because it turns into this that we
Right.
give to this, and we make money even on
Educate,
this
yeah.
in some
Right,
weird way.
exactly.
Even though we're not selling anything and haven't been selling anything for these last 3 videos, at some point people's going to say, "Well, these guys know what they're talking about," and they do a lot of testing. If like you're a member of Genesis
Right.
Labs, you know we spend a lot of time talking about testing. But at the end of the day, we probably waste even more money so that we can find out things like it doesn't matter if it's the brand. The brand isn't what matters. It's the outcome and the brand
Right.
joined together. So we can talk about that.
Right.
So those are, I think, are really super duper important things, and probably not a bad place to end this, guys. We don't have any more plans.
So just
Wink, wink, wink. To do
wanna
another one.
Remind everybody what
But-
we said at the beginning. There's different ways to get traffic, but you don't want to be beholden to anyone
Yeah.
when you have the opportunity. When what we mean by that are your JV partners and waiting for somebody to mail. When you can figure out how to crack the code that Laura's cracked for us, we know traffic. We got to run our business. We got to get in front of the camera. We got the best person out there handling our media, sharing the results, and we put the input back and the creatives and everything like that. We're happy because we know that our destiny can go on because we're in control of it.
Yeah.
And that's what we want for you over these last 3 videos. We wanted to let you know that when you can crack the code with traffic, that we know you have a good product. We know you're out there. We know you want to help the world. You're probably not getting all the traffic that you want. And when you know the codes that you know some of the stuff you
it's
learned
a
from
formula.
this case study.
It's a formula. I mean, really, it's a formula. It's testing, and and Mike, you're right. You just don't put all your eggs in one marketing basket. That's it.
I just had an idea. I don't know if we can do it. You guys know that we're a big fan of a dude named Anthony Vincent.
Yes.
Anthony sang a bunch of songs for us. We found him on Fiverr, and he
guy with the long hair that did the songs in our Video Genesis launch. The 10-second songs guy.
Yeah. Well, he's blown up. He's gotten like 4 million views in the last 5 days. 4 million views to his YouTube. I bet you. We're gonna see if we can't get Anthony and do, get him on a Hangout.
Sounds great.
And so listen, keep an eye on this page.
If you
a
like
couple
us,
days, yeah.
Like us.
Like us,
if
right.
If you love us, leave a comment below.
Share.
And share the video. And,
share.
And if you want more videos like this in any way, shape, or form, let us know. And
I think that would be cool to get him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
okay, cool. Hopefully we'll see you soon, guys. Thank you very much. We'll see you later.